Hey guys! So today I taught my last class of the semester, so I'm really excited, and I am celebrating by actually getting out an ARC review on time by one of my favorite romance authors, or should I say two of my favorite romance authors? It's kind of hard. So the romance author known as Christina Lauren has a new book coming out called The Paradise Problem that we are going to be talking about. And I know it absolutely broke my mind when I realized that Christina Lauren is so called because Christina Lauren is two people named Christina and Lauren who write romance novels together. So yeah, I guess one of my favorite authors, two of my favorite authors, I don't know. We're gonna talk about this book now. I do apologize, the pollen level is excessively high, and so I have a little bit of a allergy thing going on, but that is not going to dampen at all my discussion of this book. So The Paradise Problem is the story of Anna and Liam, and I have to admit that when I first saw the synopsis for this, I thought it was second chance, and it is kind of second chance, but it's second chance in a weird way. And what do I mean by that? Well, when the book begins, it kind of gives you like a prologue flashback-ish thing. So when Liam and Anna were both in school, they were having trouble getting to find housing. And so Liam was a doctoral student and Anna was finishing up her undergrad, and the only type of housing that Liam could get was family housing, but in order to get that you had to be married. And so Anna knew his younger brother, and they decided basically to get hitched for the benefit of having cheap housing. And so they were actually married for a couple of years, living together, yes, but not really interacting with each other very much because Liam was in the end stages of his doctorate and Anna was at that time pre-med, and they were just really busy and they coexisted fairly well, and it was a marriage in name only. The book actually opens about 3-ish years later, or almost 5 years into their marriage. This fact is important because Anna is at this point a starving artist. Right after Liam left, she switched her major away from pre-med to art, knowing that that was not as much of a sure bet job-wise, but what she wanted to do, she wanted to follow her heart. It is not going very well for her. She has recently gotten fired from one of her jobs as an overnight grocery clerk, and her dad's medical bills are piling up because he has gotten cancer, and since her mom is not in the picture, it is up to her to kind of keep both of them afloat right now. And so she is struggling. Out of the blue one day, Liam shows up and he has a number of surprises for Anna. The first one being that they never actually got divorced. Anna thought they did, and they didn't. Liam actually sent her legal documents stipulating the fact that they were going to stay married for 5 years because this is the amount of time that Liam needs to be married to unlock his inheritance. He, it turns out, is the son of a son of a son of someone who started one of the biggest grocery chains in America, and so he has the potential to be a multi-billionaire, but only if he can access his trust. He has walked away from the family business, so he really needs that money because he's decided to pursue his doctorate in anthropology instead. And yeah, Anna could have known this, that she had really been married to him still for the last 3 years. She didn't. So Liam shows up and drops that bombshell on her, but then there is a second one. His youngest sister is getting married and his family expects him to appear with his wife because if his family finds out that their marriage is fake, he will forfeit his entire inheritance. So Anna's hit with quite the double whammy by not only learning that she is still married, but she is expected to play the wife of a rich dude, and she is not a rich dude's wife. In her mannerism, she has pink hair, she's very just like starving artist. But Liam is willing to pay her for her work, and so she says yes because of the mounting medical bills that she is currently dealing with, and so the ruse begins. So you can see what I mean, that it's like pseudo second chance, but not really, because previously their marriage was in name only, and while they knew each other, they clearly like didn't interact that much. And I have to say, I had a really hard time getting off the ground with this novel. The reason being that like with this whole setup, I was just like, how did this work? Like, first of all, like taxes, right? Because Anna has been filing as a single person and Liam's been filing that he's married. Like, I guess the IRS didn't catch on. Like, I know this is a romance novel, right? But my brain was just like spiraling. And I was like, how did Liam's family not like want to see his wife for any of those 3 years? Anna's really never met any of them, but Liam's brother Jake, who knows the marriage is fake. So it was just like a lot. I was just really struggling with the ins and outs of this having worked for 3 years. And again, I know it's a romance novel and I shouldn't take it so seriously, but it was a little bit of a roadblock for my brain. Also, these two, despite having lived together for 2 years, really seem like strangers at the beginning. And again, that is like kind of explained. They were both really busy. They didn't really interact. They didn't interact in the same social circles. They were in different places with their education. And again, I get that, but it also just felt like this is a little weird. It's a little weird. So again, if that is not going to bother you as much, then, you know, it won't. But if you're like me, that was kind of like a little bit of a hurdle to get into this book. Once you finally kind of like accept the foundations of this book, it really does start to get rolling. The wedding is a destination wedding in Singapore on a private island. It's very, very lush and extravagant, and Liam's family is absolutely bonkers. His dad, Ray, is a very like stereotypical, like cool, like fierce dad who just manipulates his children for fun. His mother, Janet, clearly loves him, but she's trying to like, you know, ping pong back and forth between her husband and her children. Liam has an older brother, Alex, who, due to his dad's treatment, abusive treatment really, has turned into a total yes man and always wants to like do whatever his dad says, looking for approval. Whereas Liam, the middle child, is considered like, or was considered the golden boy of the family before he left. And so Alex doesn't like him because he thinks that Liam is taking up his spotlight. And then there's Jake, the younger brother, who has perfected the art of just like sliding into the shadows and just like not being perceived by his dad. And then Charlie, the youngest child and the only daughter, who is the apple of her father's eye, who is the reason they're all in Singapore and getting married. So not only does Anna have to learn how to be Liam's wife, but she also has to learn how to kind of operate in this social stratosphere. And she, for Liam, is definitely like a foil of, even though Liam has removed himself from this world and this family, there's a lot of stuff that he will take for granted that Anna just can't. She like can't wrap her mind around some of the excess that Liam kind of just takes for granted. And they're also kind of, you know, both kind of shocked by the rest of the family's treatment of like the staff and stuff like that. And so Anna is trying to navigate like his really, really catty family and this whole beautiful like outdoor wedding. So it's a very much like a clash all over the place. Because the book takes place like around Liam's family and around, you know, the whole idea of Liam's inheritance and Anna having like her pretend to be his wife, even though the novel is a dual POV, it seems very slanted towards everything that's going on in Liam's family, which is understandable. The book does try to also make a rich family backstory for Anna as well. Like I said, her dad is very sick, and it turns out that she was abandoned by her mom at a young age, who then kind of like came in and out of her life really randomly, but kind of left her with some abandonment issues. That had the potential to be really interesting and a very other part of complexity for the plot, but it's not really dealt with outside of a few mentions. So that kind of felt very underdeveloped, whereas we spent a lot of time with Liam and his family. And so again, even though it is a dual POV novel, which I loved, and I think actually at the end of the day, Anna gets more narration chapters. I'm not confident on that, but that's what it felt like. It still really felt like this was Liam's story and Anna was just kind of like entering into it. With that being said, I really did appreciate the complexity of the plot. There are a lot of things going on. You realize that Liam's relationship with his father is worse for other reasons that you don't expect as the novel goes along. And so there really is like a good attempt at, you know, this is a romance novel with like this hilarious ruse going on, but also there are these like deep, ugly family dynamics that are being navigated, even if they are heavily weighted towards Liam. At the end of the day, I really did enjoy this book. I wouldn't say that it's my favorite Christina Lauren book of all time, but it's also just a really solid book. I read it basically in one sitting because I just wanted to know how everything was going to unravel. It had that little bit of like a mystery to it that I really enjoyed. Plus Liam and Anna just, once you get over the kind of clunkiness of the beginning, having a great relationship where it's very clear what they can offer each other, but they have to kind of navigate getting to know each other in a really, really stressful situation. I did feel like the ending was a little bit rushed. It felt a little bit weird. I'm not going to go into why, but it did seem to like wrap up rather fast, which felt a little weird. But at the end of the day, it was a really solid book. I give it like 3.5 to 4 stars. On Storygraph, I gave it a 3.75 because I couldn't agree on which way I wanted to go. So just another solid book from Christina Lauren. This is an ARC review, so thank you to the publisher and Edelweiss for my free advance copy, for my honest and fair review. This will be out if you watch this video right now, the day I posted it. It's not out yet, but it will be out tomorrow. So if you want to check this out, you can get it from your local library or your local bookstore to check it out yourself. I have reviewed plenty of other Christina Lauren books, and I will link some of those up in the top. So if you want to get a feel for how I thought those other books went, to see if our views will align, because it tends to be that if people like a couple of the same books or feel the same about a couple of different books, we tend to fairly align. So I'll link a couple of those up above as well, so you can check those out and see. But otherwise, I was so happy to just have a nice, solid romance novel that was a little silly and it made me laugh. And even if it wasn't my favorite thing in the world, I'm all done with teaching this semester and I'm just so excited to get back into reading good books. So I look forward to sharing more of those with you all soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.